All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Salty Saturdays. We got 4 matches tonight, and to kick us off at least, we'll have some rotating casters today, but we've got Robobson and Super Chicken. How you guys doing?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Pretty good as well. It's getting late. I'm excited for the first match at least. Very important one for me.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first week of THL playoffs for, well, Hero here, but Legacy and Pro as well. And we have Neji Boston versus Agent PWE. Actually, interestingly, Neji's team is actually playing Pee-wee's team in Pro this week as well. But although Neji and Pee-wee aren't themselves playing each other.
Yep, and so far this week, no pros here are 4-2 up against F2L Black. Vampire Nighthawk beat Dr. Fish 3-2 earlier on today. So the onus is on Neji, not just to get his first win of the season, currently at 0-8, but also to get F2L Black back in it.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. These are both players that are doing quite well in Pro Series, but definitely having worse seasons in Hero. You know, Pee-wee not as bad as Neji at 3 and 5, but yeah, I mean, Neji is 7 and 2 now in Pro, and Pee-wee's 6 and 2. So it is interesting to see them with such worse records in Hero, but Hero is pretty volatile. At least I find.
Yeah, it's all about the prep and a little bit of luck as well. And Neji's lost 2-3 a lot of times. He certainly hasn't been getting the breaks that he'd be hoping for. So it looks like we got some bans in. So just run through the classes for us. Neji running Druid, Hunter, Shaman, and Warrior. PWE running Druid, Hunter, Rogue, and Warrior. So what do you make of them?
Yeah, so Neji's been the Warrior here, and so he's left up the Druid, Hunter, and Rogue. That is, I think that probably leads me to believe that, you know, he probably has the Burn Shaman here, and maybe a more aggressive Druid, maybe like a Beast Druid. Probably trying to target out this, probably looking to beat this Rogue, at least with the Druid and the Shaman.
Yeah, the Rogue doesn't look fantastic into these classes. Shaman, Warrior, Hunter, Druid. So I think PWE's strategy with that is probably going to just be maybe open with it and steal a win. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. I guess you don't. I mean, if everything goes well for Pee Wee, he won't have to play the rogue at all. I'd imagine he's probably gonna. I could definitely see him bringing Quest Hunter here, as it's probably the best hunter into Shaman in general, and also, I don't think it really loses to any other hunter archetypes. I'm not really sure what it's like into Face Hunter. I know in the past it's been a little bit Face Hunter favored, but I think now it's kind of swung back the other way a little bit. So I I think I think Pee-wee's probably gonna try to look to get most of his wins on the hunter here. Um, the druid also could be good. I mean, it is kind of for. I think Pee-wee's in a bit of a worse spot here for sure.
Yeah, at least that's what I'm counting on. Yeah, a hunter sweep can always happen. You know, if it's like a face hunt, it can sometimes just do something fairly ridiculous.
Yeah, and that is kind of like I find that's just the nature of hero series in general. Even if you are a bit favored, you can just get like steamrolled by someone drawing
Yeah.
pretty well 3 games in a row.
Or just in hero, it's like if you get high rolled that one counter matchup, then you can just win the series.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
you know,
Last hero standing is pretty volatile that way.
it can be unforgiving for sure. But you know, by the same token, PWE does have Druid left up, and Kazakhstan Druid can just do really, really stupid things. You know, you get it out early, you get the treasure, you get the good treasures. Like you get to play locusts on turn 4 or 5. You're probably going to win the game.
Yeah, it does feel like the meta right now also kind of lends itself to that. Yeah, it looks like we have this Thief Rogue from Pee-wee versus. Actually, I just need to get into spectating. It looks like it's a Thief Secret Rogue from Pee-wee. Wow, I've never seen this deck before. That is interesting. And it does look like it's just the Burn Shaman from Neji here with a pretty good hand.
Yep.
Wow, this looks like a Forged in the Barrens deck, if I'm being completely honest here.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks fantastic to me.
Yeah, like got Kazakus, we have Blackjack Stunner. I mean, what more could you
When was
ask
the last
for?
time you saw Blackjack Stunner being played?
I mean, I mean, I honestly think it was Forged in the Barrens when Secret Rogue was being played. But yeah, this is I wonder what Pee-wee's kind of brewed up here. He was telling me that yeah, I mean, as we kind of noted earlier as well, like Rogue isn't great into Neji's classes, so I think Pee-wee's maybe come up with what he feels is the best possible option for him.
Which is some kind of meme. I mean, turn 4 Savannah Honeymoon is good.
It is good.
And it's it's even got the contraband stash. This is a greedy deck.
Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to can Pee-wee generate enough value from whatever sort of thief cards he has in his deck, and whether or not he can get a valuable contraband stash. Because I think just like the minions in his deck will not get there against Burn Shaman.
They will not, because Burn Shaman has, I'd say, some amount of inevitability in this matchup. Because obviously a Thief Rogue, especially a Thief Secret Rogue, which, you know, we're still kind of, when we see Blackjack Stunner, Kazakus, Contraband Stash, the question is very much, what kind of tempo cards have been cut to make place for them. Because I'm assuming the stunners mean we're going to see Hanar, we're going to see probably ambush and dirty tricks at the very least, maybe a plagiarize. But with all those in there, something's got to have been cut.
Yeah, another thing is that he hasn't. If there are nulls in this deck, which I would assume there are, they've only been discounted by what, like they've been discounted 3 times, so there's still 3 mana. So they're not great off the top either. But yeah, the lightning bloom picked up off the top is pretty nice here. You can go. I mean, I mean, the world's kind of your oyster if you're Neji here. You already have the spell damage in hand, and you have the landslide. So, I mean, you can just play your turn in a few different ways if you want to.
Yeah, it's just a case of making all the mana line up cleanly. If that's Lady Vash had been, say, a Novice Zapper, for example, easy turn. But now the Lightning Bloom gives at least a decent form of overload. It's just a case of what does he want to throw out alongside the Lightning Bloom.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Wind Chill here, and then probably Bloom out. Oh, okay, he's gonna Bloom out the Guild Trader to fill out his mana.
Yeah, it's the most optimum mana utilization, and Guild Trader's a scary minion to leave alive. Because there's 9 mana on the board already. This Serpentshire Portal is another 5. So if that all goes face, PWE is on 4 health, which is just a spell damage lightning bolt away from lethal. And he does not have any comeback mechanisms right now. Those blackjack stunners with no secrets, not doing anything.
Yeah, I think it has to be overdraft off the top here to be lethal, which it isn't.
Yep, so Neji's going to be thinking, do I just send the Serpentshire Portal face? I've got this Frostbite, that's going to put him to 1 off dead. And he's going for it.
Yeah, I mean, he has the 2 turn, right, with Vash and Frostbite on the next turn.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's actually just next turn, lethal.
Yeah.
Finally, a secret comes into hand. A little bit late. All these frozen stag guards have just got him there.
Well,
how many games of Hearthstone do you think you've seen decided by Wildpaw Cavern on 2 or 3?
I've been playing a good amount of Burn Shaman on ladder lately, so a lot.
And also
playing against it a bunch, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's great when it happens against you. Yeah, that's going to be a very quick game, number 1.
Yeah, I mean, Pee-wee brought a deck that he felt had a better chance than, you know, Poison or Quest Rogue. I don't know if I necessarily agree. I think, you know, while Poison Rogue is unfavored into Burn Shaman, I think
just
it has
lethal on board.
Yeah, I think other Rogue decks probably had a better chance of getting a win than whatever this did.
Yeah, I'm like, without giving too much insight into the prep process, we did not plan for Secret Thief Rogue because the consensus was it's so bad it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah,
I was quite excited to cast this match, and so far it has not disappointed.
Oh, and we've got the old Quest Shaman, Burn Shaman versus Quest Hunter. PWE with the pretty solid counter here.
Yeah, this is definitely I believe a good matchup for the Quest Hunter, unless you know you get the early Bloom Cavern and get in a ton of chip damage. I think the Hunter usually has a pretty easy time here.
Bloom Cavern, gotta love it.
Yeah,
but neither of those cards are in hand right now, crucially.
Yeah, I mean the Hunter doesn't really play any minions, and they're generally pretty good at keeping the board small. So
yeah,
they'll usually be able to and the game before the shaman can amass enough burn.
Yeah. So I think the thought process there for Neji was, right, I've got a landslide. They've just queued Hunter as a counter to my burn shaman. It's definitely not face Hunter, right? Because if it
Yeah.
is, and you tossed away landslide, you feel like an absolute idiot.
Would be a pretty funny mind game from Pee-wee to get Neji to toss away his landslide. Oh, there's the blue!
And he gets it. Turn 2 cavern, turn 3 cavern the game before.
I
And
mean, wow. I
there
mean,
is a multicaster in hand. If he gets him like a frost spell,
for Pee-wee though, he has like basically the perfect answer over the next
But
couple
this-
of turns.
this hand is disgusting.
Yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
honestly-
Went for the arcane shot to start with rather than either copy of Overwhelm because arcane shot can go face, and quest completion with this hand is pretty easy.
yeah, I wonder. He may like have a couple beasts in deck. Like he could run the Venomous Scorpid. So I wonder if he's maybe wants to save one Overwhelm for like potentially
Yeah.
getting that 3 damage breakpoint. But
I'm not
yeah,
sure that
I do think you're
two
right that in
Caverns
general.
is gonna get there.
Yeah, I do think you're right though. Like in general, it's probably better to play your Overwhelms before your Arcane shot. But I mean, yeah, at this rate, Pee-wee's going to be playing Tavish on 5, which is, I mean,
Yep.
the dream scenario for Quest Hunter.
Yes, that it is. And Neji
And-
had the dream, and it's just not worked out because PWE had the nuts. And when two decks both have the absolute nut draw, the one which is 70% favored is still probably going to win. And it certainly
Yeah.
seems like it's going to pan out that way. Got such insane value from the Dragonbane shot this game. It's just panned out so nicely with the Stag Guards. The PWE is going to have basically played 3 cards to complete his quest.
yeah, I'm a little surprised to not see the Serpent Shrine that turn. Did seem a little odd not to
Yeah.
go for that.
It was a little wonky, I think.
Yeah, and Pee-wee not even going to waste a resource playing the Overwhelm here. He's just going to keep sending
Tavish at 5.
damage
And
phase.
the Caverns is finished. So those tag cards didn't go face a single time. Neji's looking a little rough here. He's probably going to hope to get the Snowfall Guardians down next turn, but there are a lot of spells still in PWE's hand. He's got the Furious Howl for reload, got the Quick Shot for reload. Even the Dragonbane shot is some form of reload. So I just don't see Neji Boston getting any damage through at any point coming up.
And and I mean, if you thought Pee-wee was, I mean, if Neji's trying to bank on Pee-wee running out of gas here, it's not happening. Like
The gas is there.
there's the Furious Howl, the Quick Shot. I mean, even he could even could try to go infinite on Dragonbane shots if he really wants to. It's just, I mean, it is just the perfect hand from Quest Hunter.
Yes. Like, Neji needs some pretty insane stuff to happen. And, if the Zapper was a Phoenix, which was offered on the Discover the previous couple turns, then
Yeah, if this
I
Phoenix
think
was
there might
like,
have been some tiny amount of hope that he wouldn't die in the couple of turns necessary, but I just don't see the necessary spell damage coming together.
yeah, I mean, if he'd played the Phoenix last turn, there was definitely a world where we could burst Pee-wee from 24. Not that it was likely or anything, but I think that may have
It
been
would-
his best chance at winning the game.
Not likely, but possible.
Yeah. Or maybe like, I don't know, maybe there was like burn into We Don't Die into Brucon or something.
There's slim margins with what's going on in PW's
Yeah,
hand.
now that
The only thing is mana, because PW is still on 6 mana. He's going to need a couple of turns to kill Neji, but because of that, he's just clearing the board, using this Dragon Main shot, which has now procced 5 times. I've never seen so much value from the one card.
it does fit in quite well against Burn Shaman. There's just so many things, like so many easy ways to get
Yeah,
it back.
there's a lot of 4 health minions.
Yeah, I mean, and like if you ever totem, you just give them a free Dragonbane shot.
Yeah, never play totems. Yep, so now it's the big question.
Oh, and the
Do you just play
overdrive was picked up too. Wow, this would have been a lot of damage.
Yeah, with that Phoenix would have come close, but probably not quite enough. But not a lot that Neji can really do from this position. He can play a 6 mana 4/4 to clean to freeze the Tavish for a turn. Because
Yeah,
if that Tavish hits face at any point, it is 100% game over.
can you? I mean, he can bloom out the Brucon here and heal and do 6 to face. That's probably his best option. I don't really see another. I don't. I think he has to heal, right? He's just dead if he doesn't.
Yes, there's a good chance he's dead if he does heal, but probably the best avenue.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the heal and the face damage here. Yeah, I think going for the taunts is a little too optimistic.
Yeah, the taunts will almost always die. I like going for the heal with the 5 armor. Puts him up to 28. There's a possibility he's not dead here.
The
Just
Peewee
because
needs
of the 7 mana amount.
21.
At this point, if you're PW, you don't even really count. You just start shipping spells face, and if they die,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, no, this is how I would be playing it as well. I would just start throwing stuff at his face and see if it gets there. And it looks like it actually is exact lethal. Yeah, it is. Wow.
Yep. PW gets the counter game there. Quest Hunter taking down the Burn Shaman in. It's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, it does.
Had a fantastic draw, even
It does
against
make you wonder a little
turn
bit.
2 Caverns.
It does make me wonder a little bit why this rogue came out in game 1 anyways. I mean, maybe he's wondering, he's expecting Neji to be playing a slow druid, which would be quite tough for the quest hunter. But
I know PW banned Druid. I think it was.
he did ban the druid.
Maybe they play Control Warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Question mark.
We did see. I remember one game specifically. I think it was Hunter Race on stream and the Masters Tour playing Quest Hunter versus Charge Warrior, and if you're able to get Tavish down before the second stage completion of the quest, it really poses a lot of problems for the warrior.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like PW is running that particular the Hunter Race build of Quest Hunter, which was really weird. Like he had the Beast Collector, the 2 mana 1/3.
Yeah, that's a bit of an older inclusion that we saw a bit in the last expansion. Definitely not as popular now.
But yeah, it looks like Neji is going with the warrior this time around.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's gonna be like the dragon control variety or the charge version.
Yeah, so far we've only seen a shield shatter, which just says.
Oh, I guess the Viper means
control.
It's charged because there's no because that means Kazan wouldn't be live if you had Viper in deck. So it is the charge warrior, unless Neji really wanted to run Viper in Dragon Warrior.
It's possible. Neji almost certainly going to run out the cash here. One awkward thing about this particular matchup, it's... Oh, no cash. Yeah, one awkward thing about this matchup is there's not really many minions for, assuming he's running the axe. Yeah, it's to the front. It's a charge warrior.
Yeah. Well, one play that I've also made, I've also seen the warrior players make is playing the Bulwark of Azzinoth early in the game so that the hunter can't progress their quest as well.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah, it
course.
is. It's something I've seen some warrior players go for if their hand is basically just Bulwark like Neji's is.
It does buy
I
you
think-
a lot of time. There's the axe with no minions. That's really going to hit into for the immediate time. So maybe that one. Yeah, PWE he's really respecting the axe here. Killing off the minions so no cards are gonna be drawn.
Yeah, I really don't want to give warrior any draw here.
Are we gonna see the Bulwark here? We are not. I imagine Neji's saving it for post-quest completion to save some health rather than delaying the quest.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the Outrider's Axe already in hand, it does kind of limit what you can do a little bit. Because if you play the Bulwark and then your opponent just plays a couple of minions, then you're kind of sad because now you can't. You either have to kill your Bulwark to draw, or you just don't draw, and then you're also sad.
It's a sad situation, as the song goes. And Neji playing the sword and board because less likely to get value out of that than the shield slam in the immediate future. Possibly a bit scared of pack tactics before the axe comes out, but you've just seen it run in the main deck. Pack tactics isn't something you're ever going to be really thinking about in Quest Hunter, but what Neji really needs to be thinking about is the freezing trap that was played needs to be procced for the charge combo to actually take place.
Yeah, so that'll take off one Galvangar off the board. So I think it means that Neji has to basically have 3 Galvangars to kill Peewee now, unless he gets some weapon hits in here.
Surprised by the lack of weapon swings from Neji. Considering the Bulwark is just sitting there in hand, the quest's going to be completed fairly soon.
Yeah, that is
get that online at some point.
That is weird to me, because that basically, to me, it says that Neji's saying that, oh, I won't be playing this Bulwark until turn like 10, which does not make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and with Tavish already on the board, Neji, he's going to want that Bulwark sometime soon. Yeah, maybe thinking he didn't want to complete the quest for PWE if that was an explosive trap. But then I would like to see a weapon swing in case, now the explosive trap doesn't really matter and you've got these weapon swings you want to be digging through.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Peewee, I would not be playing explosive traps with like 1 proc left on my quest, because there are some charge warriors that run Mutinous. And that would be a very sad moment.
But hilarious. Right, there's the Galvangar. We got a Faceless, we got it to the front. But, there's a freezing trap up. which is going to spell disaster if it's run out as it is. So we're going to want to see a second Faceless or a BGBM. But we're also going to want to see some weapon swings go in face.
Well, the ice ramp as well could pose some problems. I mean, I could definitely. I mean, I think he's gonna proc this ice trap before he goes for his combo turn, but there is also a second ice trap in hand here, so like the
Yeah,
ice
I
and
would-
the freezing traps together are really gonna make it tough to pull off this full combo.
Yeah, the one thing is with 3 secrets up, that does give Neji pretty complete information. It's never going to be, the three minion based secrets. Just going to drop out this minefield, proc the ice trap to get that out the way, and still no hit into the face, and just playing out the bulwark.
Yeah, I guess Neji's just kind of on the survive plan now of just
But there could have been 3 swings to face with that axe in that case over the past few turns. That
Yeah,
probably just goes down as 9 damage missed.
hold. Oh, Pee-wee's running the multicast list. I do love whenever multicaster is played.
It's a pretty fantastic card, and it's gonna get a lot done here. Like, is that 4 different spell skills?
I believe just 3. I believe it's just Arcane, Frost, and Fire. I mean, he could run the Beast Hunter card, the Nature spell, which would give him 4 spell schools, but you would only be rezzing maybe a Rustrot Viper, so maybe not the best inclusion.
Yeah, not the best, but draws you an extra card. So who's to complain?
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of just making terrible decks that have like 4 spell schools just so you can play a 4-card multicaster.
Just feel really good about yourself before your opponent kills you.
Yep.
Right, both ice traps are out the way, so the to the front is playable. I've got to imagine that this Dunbaldar Banker is not going to do a great deal more in this game, but I think it's done enough.
It is +2 damage, and that's probably it.
Yes, but the way it's panning up so far, +2 damage might just be enough. Neji
Yeah.
is quite some way off winning this game.
Aimed and quick shot picked up is going to be a ton of damage. I like playing the minion damage spells first though, just because you might not be able to play them any other turn. I do like this a lot from Pee-wee here.
Yeah, just clearing out the hand pretty much. Getting as much to the face as possible. Neji's probably looking for a Frozen Buckler at this point. Some kind of immediate armor gain, maybe a Rikara for that extra 10 health. Let's revive Rain it.
No, it's not going to be.
Rikara is
Rikara
it.
is going to be pretty good though.
Yeah, armor up before the Rikara, play it, go for the face. I'm quite disappointed with the lack of weapons hitting the face so far this game. So I want this one to be going there. Or not! Where do you
Yeah.
think Neji is avoiding the face so religiously so far?
Yeah, I think. I mean, he's obviously valuing his life total a lot here. But I mean, the breakpoints do change with getting a couple weapon hits in.
Yes. At this point now, we are down 3 axe swings and at least 1 Rikara swing, which is 14 damage.
Yeah,
If he
it does
doesn't swing
make,
again this turn, that's 19 damage.
yeah, I mean, even just picking up second to the front here would that even be lethal? Like, no, I don't think it would be. Can you get? No, he only has 2 combo pieces in hand, or 2 combo minions in hand, so he would only be able to get 2 attacks in anyways at most. So yeah, I mean, if he had his opponent, or if he had Neji or Pee-wee close to 18 here, it could be a very different game.
Alright, cutting class is a much welcome card draw. I think Neji is just looking to fatigue PWE.
Barov plus hero power gets you an extra 4 health.
Yeah, which
Right.
I think what Neji is going to be looking at here.
Yeah, I mean, he's just also looking to get hand space here.
Yeah, Frozen Buckler is going to be a pretty fantastic draw here. Board and board.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be worse than your hero power. So,
Yeah, just not going to do a great deal.
I mean, it is important to note that had Neji swung with the weapon last turn, he would just be dead.
Yeah, the explosive trap would be playable. But I think the plan is just Neji's never going to swing.
Yeah, I mean, he might go for a swing on the combo turn if it changes the breakpoints. Like, 2 Galvan Guards plus a Faceless is... Or, sorry, yeah. Like, Galvan Guard plus 2 Faceless is 27. So a weapon swing on that turn would be pretty relevant. But other than that, I don't see him really swinging.
Oh, that's lethal. Okay, very close.
Yeah, hero power, Dragonbane, hero
It's
power.
exactly lethal.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to play the multicaster to draw the last card.
The last card, which I believe would be just a second tracking, actually. So Neji came very close to just fatiguing this deck.
Can you even play tracking when there's nothing in your deck?
You can. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, so it would have just been a request or a re-hero power.
Yeah, which would have maybe just about got there, but Neji came incredibly close to just fatiguing out the Quest Hunter there. Didn't quite get there. If he just got one more form armor gain, maybe it would have been enough, but now Neji's counter deck has failed. Neji is 2-1 down and has his own Hunter remaining. So we'll see what exactly Hunter it is.
It does look like it's a Face Hunter, seeing Cult, Neophyte, and Wrangler in the hand.
Yeah, that's a Face Hunter. Face Hunter not being fantastic into Quest Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty good start, though, for this Face Hunter. Wow, I mean, almost exactly the start Neji wanted here.
Absolutely. So now the question is, how exactly to sequence this best?
I would probably expect a Initiate plus a Guardian Og Merchant. I
Just
mean,
to guarantee a target for the Doggy Biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, there's also you could go for the Wolpertinger alongside the Initiate as well. But
yeah,
it makes it more likely that the Initiate's gonna die.
Yeah, I like the Guardian Orc Merchant most. If you play the Wolpertinger and they do have a bowler shot, you're incredibly sad.
Yeah, or a Dragonbane shot even.
Yeah, but now a Divine Shielded Doggy Biscuit Initiate is gonna be pretty bad news for PWE.
I wonder if we'll see a Neophyte here, actually. It doesn't... I guess it doesn't do too much into explosive.
No, especially with the Dumbledore bunker played. It's going to cost a pretty similar amount, but he is actually going for it. Going for the Ice Trap. Interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I mean, I think you want to generally be just taking as much damage off the board as possible.
Yeah, of course, PWE has not drawn the good cards for this matchup. We haven't seen a Wound Prayer, we haven't seen an Overwhelm, we haven't seen an Explosive Trap, which are kind of the key cards for the Quest Hunter if you face on the matchup. And it's
Yeah, I mean, a Bola shot that turn as well would have been pretty insane. Actually, I mean, Neji kind of positioned his minions pretty poorly there for Bola shot. He definitely wanted to put the Neophyte in the middle there.
yeah, agreed. Alright, so now information is not freezing or explosive. Neji saw basically the entire deck the previous game, so he knows this is 100% Ice Trap. So if he wants to go Demon Companion to proc it, then play the Doggy Biscuit, going to go a long way. Of course, we know that there are 2 1-cost secrets in the hand, either of which could be Explosive Trap. So I imagine we're going to see it go down on the Initiate this turn. No, actually going for it on the Cult Neophyte. Getting 2 decently statted annoying minions in play. The Overwhelm comes into hand a little bit late for PWE, who is still on 0 procs of his quest completion so far.
Yeah, I liked the Doggy Biscuit on the Neophyte. It was kind of his most vulnerable minion. The Initiate's already a little bit annoying to clear off, so
Yeah,
I like protecting the other 3 attack minion.
yeah, I can see that. And now PWE's got a big question mark here. He's already down to 15 on turn 3, and doesn't really have clean ways of answering a lot of this board.
Yeah, crucially, he's done 0 damage with spells so far this game. So,
Yeah, 0 procs of the quest so far. The quest isn't happening so far.
yeah, it's God, it is really tough.
Like, if either of these 2 freezing traps were an explosive trap and he could drop one of them alongside the aim shot, PW might have a shot in this. But just whiffing on the explosive trap every time.
Okay, Bola shot picked up.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's the fact that Explosive Trap was the last secret he drew was so tough for PoE. And okay, and the fact that there's no Tavish for PoE here means that, I mean, this is basically all the life total he has for the rest of the game. So I would
Yeah.
definitely like to see a hero power this turn and pretty much every other turn for Neji.
Yeah. I think here you just kind of would accept that the Initiate probably isn't getting it back down. I've really liked Wolpertinger, cheaper Demon Companion, and Hero Power on this particular turn. Getting the Mini Huffer is fantastic. Yep, and the Hero Power is coming down. Because now the clock is very real for Neji. PWE is down to 6, which is just, even if he keeps the board clear every turn, as there's no Tavish in the deck, he will die in 3 turns.
Yeah, I don't really see a way that Huey can win here. I mean, he can definitely clear the board this turn. But yeah, like as you mentioned, the fact that he's just on a 3-turn clock guaranteed just means that he almost certainly doesn't have enough time to win the game.
No. So the Explosive Trap, Freezing Trap. Yeah, nice sequencing from PWE. Playing Explosive first with the Freezing next second means that all the minions will die and then the Neophyte will get bounced back to hand. Quick Shot, obviously, it reduces the clock by 1 turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Demon Companion, if it was to hit Mini Huffer this turn, would guarantee lethal this turn.
Yeah,
So I'd probably like to see Neji go for that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's not going for the Demon Companion here. And not Hero Power?
Oh, I'm not a fan of this particular turn.
No. I mean, you had guaranteed lethal next turn.
Just giving PWE a whole extra turn off your clock. Obviously, the Neophyte does slow things down a little bit, but with the the bowler shot in hand, it's just unnecessarily given PWE some kind of out when the game was pretty much already won.
Yeah, I mean that obviously it's a bit of, I guess, a little results oriented to comment on something like this, but I'm generally not a huge fan of the bunker and multiple secrets version of Quest Hunter.
No.
Yeah, it does feel quite clunky when you don't draw your cards in the right order.
I mean, I think the multicaster is the main clunky thing. I'm not a fan of multicaster in Quest Hunter. It's a bit memey for my liking. I think the secret package is good. I do like. I'm not sure about the whole secret package. Obviously, explosive trap is the main thing you want to run, but I think the honorable kill 4-drop spell is just
Spring the
bad.
Trap?
Yeah, it there's so little 3 health things unless you're playing against Shaman, and you're already so good against Shaman. But we're getting into game 5 here, and base Hunter into what looks like Kazakhstan Druid.
Yeah,
There's a,
this
or,
is looking pretty good for Neji here.
yes, matchup is it's not great, but there's a bloom, there's a resizing pouch, there's a nature studies. If we see a really early Kazakhstan, that's how things happen in this matchup, because there's 5 mana available for PWE already.
Yeah, snap picking the bloom there.
Yeah, it's what you play resizing pouch for, quite honestly. Still no. Oh, Wild Growth is another good pickup.
Okay, we
PWE
have
still looking for Overgrowth or Guff. Those are the cards.
yeah, Wild Growth pretty likely here. I'd expect also probably to see a Nature Studies after the coin into Wild Growth. Not that I guess not that it matters too much.
Yeah, what nature studies can basically just it can appear out of anywhere. You always can fit it in at some point. You can't play it before the coin though. Maybe this means that we're not going to see a Wild Growth this turn. And in fact,
Oh, there's Guff.
There is Guff.
So the pieces are there.
Oh, Initiate Doggy Biscuit though.
It is like, I mean, obviously, Pee-wee didn't know it was on the top of his deck, but had he gone for the Wild Growth that turn, he could have bloomed out Guff into the ramp
Hero power.
hero power. On
Yes.
the next turn.
Results oriented thinking. But Neji here has the Initiate with a second Doggy Biscuit, slam another 6 to the face, put PW to 20. He is going to most likely bloom out a Guff next turn, which is, it's not a great deal to be doing for a couple of turns. So this is very much both players getting pretty close to what their ideal game plan is and not really interacting with each other in the slightest.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim here for Pee-wee. Almost needs to see, almost needed a Scale of Onyxia off the top here.
Oh god, yeah, and that card just wins. Funnily enough, it would only leave PW with 1/2/1 going ahead, but it would crucially clear Neji's board. And Neji doesn't have a great deal of reload.
It would leave
He's
him with
a lot on burn.
Wouldn't it leave him? It would leave him with the 2/2/1s, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, 2. I can't count. 7 minus 5 is 2.
Wow. And speaking of ideal draws, ramming Mount off the top is also pretty good.
Yeah, this is pretty perfect for Neji, who's just saying, "Nah, I don't care what you do." And now the Scale of Onyxia wouldn't even do it.
Yeah. I think, I mean, surely you still have to Moonlit for Scale, because you're just dead. I was gonna go for Malagos into Innervate Ironbark.
Yeah, the worst part here is the fact that he's on 6 mana. Ironbark
Yeah.
or Bug Beam don't even work. Has Neji broken the curse? Will
Wow.
he get his first win of the season? It looks like it.
Oh, he does have Mark of the Wild.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
But the aim shot's gonna put him on a 2-turn clock here.
Yeah, no, it's still guaranteed. Assuming Neji spots it, because PWE is on 1 mana next turn. He's bloomed 3 times. Aim shot hero power does 7, so he can't even hero power to get the 1 armor necessary to avoid lethal the following turn.
Yeah, I don't think there's you. I mean, I guess you could Trog and hero power and then save the aim shot for next turn, but I don't think you're getting through this Malagos anytime soon. So probably not too much point in holding back with the aim shot.
I mean, you do get a free attack with this 5/6 into the 6/15 because
That
it's
is
immune.
true, and then it's only at 10 health.
Yeah, and then if it kills the 5/6, then it's on 5.
I have no time for games.
Basically, the only thing I think Neji needs to not do is play the Rhino. If he doesn't play the Rhino and hero powers in some capacity this turn, he's good. Looks like he's going for the aim shot this turn, so I'm a happy captain.
Well, that
He can trade the best in shell, and that's it.
is there one more bloom in the deck?
There is the 2 of them that were played were discovered. However, he can't trade into. He can trade into the blue, but then he can't actually do anything with it.
Could he not hero power and live?
Oh yeah, no, that is correct.
Yeah, but not gonna find the bloom.
Nope.
So that is gonna do it for this first series. Pee-wee just trying to figure out which which place to attack before conceding.
Yeah, it's very important to get your BM right, and I wouldn't have mattered anyway, even if he got the hero power.
Yeah, the quick shot off the top would have done it.
Neji gets his first win of the season. 1-8 ties things up for F2L versus NPH, which is now 6-6. So it's now best of 3 going forward. Well done, Neji. He got there. Thank God.
Yeah, really proud of Neji finally getting that win in Hero. A Hero has kind of been his nightmare series for the past couple of seasons, so maybe this is him turning things around.
Maybe. He's told me he's not playing Hero next season already, sadly enough.
Wow, yeah,
Well-
I mean, hard to blame him.
Sad. Hey,
Finally.
he got the W. Even after losing the the favorable counter. How
Yeah,
are
my
you
armor
feeling
cards
after you
just-
lost? How are you feeling after losing Warrior into Quest Hunter? Were you just like?
I felt
"Not
like I
again"?
cut all the armor cards from my deck. Oh god, yeah. I mean, at the end there, I was hoping I'd hit like one armor card, but both heavy plates and buckler didn't want to show up. Sadly.
Yeah, it
You
was
almost fatigued him.
incredibly close. Yeah, I mean there was after that last turn from Pee-wee, had you lived there was like just a tracking left for him to play and that's it.
Yeah, like I realized that he was just playing the VS list, so I mid game I opened up my browser and pulled up the VS list, and I was looking at it. I was like, okay, he has like literally one card left if I get an armor card here, so I should win, but I couldn't find the armor card.
I can't believe VS is telling people to play multicaster. That is some serious bait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how good it is, but
It's
seems a
bad.
little sus.
Yeah, it's It was a weird one, but he got third in that particular matchup, and then Face Hunter just absolutely rolled 2 games.
It needed to win against the
Three
Quest
doggy
Hunter, obviously.
biscuits. 3
Yeah,
doggy
the biscuits were
before turn
nutty.
3.
Yeah, the second biscuit, I was like, okay, it's looking good now. He's gonna
Yeah.
need to like have some nutty guff turn into like scales into armor or something to win this.
Yeah. PW did have a couple weird turns. Like he had coin wild growth that he didn't play on 2,
Oh, really?
which was
I'd have to
pretty
go back and look at it.
odd to us.
Yeah, I want to
And
get your thoughts on the first game and that rogue that Pee Wee played. What was your reaction to seeing some of those cards?
When he went dagger on 3 into my 3-2, I was like, all right, this one's a wrap.
Yeah, you had a pretty ideal start with Burn Shaman, and then he was playing
Secret Thief
that
Rogue.
deck.
Yeah, he messaged me mid-game and he's like, this deck is awful, why am I playing it? We were just laughing about it the whole game.
Yeah, I do think another rogue deck would have had a better chance of winning that game.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
Poison
any
Rogue would have been
rogue
tough
deck-
versus Cameron's too, maybe Quest Rogue.
I mean, I think any other deck would have had a better chance of just winning games of Hearthstone.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a little questionable deck.
yeah, I don't know. Could have played Garrote Rogue and had a much better chance. Like, there's just that. Other than that, though, I think it was a pretty well played series. Yeah, I mean, obviously very back and forth, and that does put you guys tied at 6 points each in the series.
Yeah, we didn't want to be 2 matches down with 3 to go. That would have been less than ideal.
Yeah, I'm very happy I could tie it up. Obviously
guys-
messed up the Neophyte in that one turn. I don't know why in my head I was like, I'm gonna freezing this and I'm gonna hero power and then he's gonna be dead next turn. And then I was like, why do I have 5 mana, not 6?
Oh
But,
yeah, we were
mean-
wondering a bit about that.
Yeah, that was a mistake. But I
Question-
mean, I was never
questions were
losing
asked.
from that situation,
Yeah.
so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, that turn 5 was just like, so long as Neji does not play this Rhino, he will win the game. And in my head, I was just like, Neji, don't play the Rhino. Please don't play
I
the
was
Rhino.
thinking about it. I was like, okay, wait, if I attack and he has 1 mana, play Rhino, I'm like, wait, but if I just put him to 2 and he has 1 mana, that sounds a little better.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I was very likely playing. I was just trying to think of everything because I had there was nothing else to do. So I just took the whole time to think. But yeah, it was definitely right to do the aim shot. I was thinking maybe he innervates a hero power or something and then lives a turn and then I can't get through and then he's Cenarian Words or something like that. I don't know. But I think it was always better to aim shot. And it worked out.
Yep. I was rooting for the aim shot. That was probably the better play. Though Trog hero power probably still gets there.
Yeah.
He was just struggling with how little mana he had left. It had to be trade into 4th bloom hero power to just not die on board.
Mhm.
Seems somewhat unlikely.
Yeah, it was pretty unlikely. Glad
But
to
you
get the
got
win.
The curse is broken.
Curse
So
is
congrats.
broken. I thought the curse was not broken when I couldn't draw any armor cards. But
That
luckily,
was a concern.
yeah, that was painful. Literally just passed infinite turns. I was trying to armor up every single turn I could too, but what can you do?
What can you do? Congrats on getting there.
Thank you.
Now you've got your win rate up to
1%.
11%.
Yeah,
For this season?
something like that.
So all you need is for F2L to win, and then you can maybe get it up to 30%.
True. And now you can't pass me because I won a game.
I mean, I still will.
True. Eventually. No doubt. I'll be down to 200 in a few seasons.
It'll be a pretty good 4 seed. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats for the win.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to be heading off. Dr. Fish is going to be taking my place, I believe. He's very
Yeah, we
happy
have-
just spamming emotes in our channel here.
Let's go.
Yeah, we got 3 more matches tonight. Up next we have Neb Canuck versus Raptor HS in Legacy playoffs. Myself and Dr. Fish will be casting that. And then after that we have Memnarch versus Nops for Wild, which will be Fish and Hyperin casting that. And then finally we have the Big Ted versus Donde for Legacy playoffs. And then
Some
myself and Fish will be back for that one.
nice little Zilf grudge match there.
True, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna jump off then. Enjoy
Yeah.
the rest of the stream, guys. Got some
Yeah, it's great casting with you.
great ones lined up. And thank you, stream. See you next time.
All right, we're still waiting for the next. We're a little bit early, but not that much. Ishi there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello. I'm like, I'm just for those who aren't super familiar with THL. I'm Neji's hero teammate. This dude's been working his ass off all season, and he got the playoff win. So big ups to him. But we have our next match to go over, which is Raptor versus Neb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, Neb Canuck has been having a pretty insane season in Legacy.
yeah,
He's 8-1 in the 3 seed. He's worked himself all the way up to 483 PR, which is pretty nuts.
hmm
I mean, and then on the other side we have Raptor, who's not doing too bad for himself either, having gone 5-4 this season in Legacy. So I mean, he definitely has his work cut out for him in terms of who he's up against. He is about 100 PR down on Neb, but I'd imagine Neb Canuck started this season probably around where Raptor HS is right now. So I think these two are probably pretty evenly matched.
Agreed, yeah. And one thing for Raptor is that he's not unfamiliar with these high 8-win players. He played Diamond last week and was able to get a solid win against him. I need to make sure I log in that I have everybody. I should have everyone because I casted Raptor, I think, at some point, maybe. I'll grab it. But yeah.
Hopefully there's no problem. We're just waiting for Raptor to respond.
Okay.
Well, they've been responding during updates and stuff, so last couple minutes.
Yeah, it looks like in this series, Defias versus IDK, we've already had 2 matches played so far. Wild9 taking down Earl 3-1 in the 1 seed, and then JR Juggerlaw beating Classy Thug 3-0. Wow, JR is also having himself a pretty insane season at 8-2 after that win. Actually, he's actually coming up on 550 PR, currently sitting at 522.
Definitely, yeah. He's had a fantastic season. IDK's gonna. I feel like IDK is gonna. If they can get through Defias here, they're gonna be pretty dangerous going forward in playoffs.
I mean, IDK has had like their last couple of weeks in the regular season were pretty nuts. I think they were decently out of a playoff spot going into the last couple of weeks, and they just kind of just wiped the floor with their opponents and basically willed their way into a playoff spot.
Yeah, I think they wiped their opponent for 2 weeks, like the second to last week, because they got 14 points on Clownstone Academy, but I wasn't necessarily a wiping because it was a 14-10 match. But yeah, I mean, great. Like, this is an important match. If Raptor can get the win here, it unfortunately might spell the end for our, not mathematically, but it might put a big dent in our defending champs' chances. But once we have, but it just shows how important playoffs is, and how this match will be a good showing of that. So I'm gonna quickly grab Raptors BattleNet myself. We have classes that we can talk about. I don't know if you've gone over them
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them right now. So we have Demon Hunter, Hunter, Paladin, and Rogue from Nebkenneth versus the Demon Hunter, Druid, Warlock, and Warrior. There's some pretty different classes, the Demon Hunter being the only constant between the two. But
Yeah.
if I'm Raptor HS, I'm pretty worried about the Rogue and the Paladin from Nebkenneth. I think
Mhm.
Nebkenneth may have done his homework here and figured that these classes were pretty good into what Raptor's been bringing.
Definitely, if you get that good deck read, and it can be super helpful for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you said, I looked at it, and even like the Paladin has a couple of iffy matchups, but it also has like, you know, it has a matchup into Warrior and it has a matchup into Warlock. So, and those are pretty favored. You can even, and Paladin isn't just Libram Paladin. I mean, some people would say it's just that. I think that buff Paladin can definitely have, like, buff Paladin can definitely have its spot. And Demon Hunter more recently has kind of become a one deck class. In the Quest Fel DH, just kind of being that main deck that you see. I wonder how these players are going to ban. I would guess. I think it would depend on the type of hunter that Nebkenneth's bringing, but Druid probably lines up pretty solidly into all of what Nebkenneth's brought, unless it's like Spell Druid, and Spell Druid gets like a Face Hunter or something. We'll see how they
Yeah.
decide to ban. Maybe you just say Quest Fel DH is pretty strong, and it just keeps these decks that want to be on the board off the board, and you get rid of it. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think if I'm Raptor here, I'm probably banning the Demon Hunter and then
Mhm.
bringing like Beast Druid, Owllock, and Charge Warrior here. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Warrior's still pretty bad into the Paladin, but I think it's not great into Paladin and Demon Hunter. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Warrior's gonna have a pretty tough time here.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think in my experience, like at least in Legacy, I find Warrior to be a bit of a suspicious bring sometimes. Like
Mhm.
it Warrior's so easy to just hard counter. I mean,
Yeah.
Nebkenneth could even just be full hard countering this Warrior, and he could go like big Beast Hunter, and like Il'gynoth Demon Hunter and Libram
Ugh.
Paladin, and then
Yeah.
run like a poison rogue with Viper and double Guild Trader or something. I feel like
That's
I don't know if he would bring something like that. That it is a little crazy, but I think hard targeting is definitely not a bad strategy in Legacy.
No, I agree. I kind of had I kind of walked myself into a little bit of a hard target lineup last week. I've gone for hard targets, and one of them didn't work out. So it is a double-edged sword. Like if you're targeting a deck and you make yourself weaker to the other stuff, and that deck gets through, it can be kind of brutal. But so I maybe don't like. I personally don't necessarily advise doing that in your like preparation for I'm going to bring these specific classes and hard target this specific thing. Like I feel like that's kind of difficult. Maybe open list is a bit more. Maybe it's a bit easier to do something like that in an open list than in closed list. But yeah, there's a lot of I think these players have quite a bit of flexibility that they can go with. I think, like you said, Warrior, with it being a little less flexible, because it's generally a controlling deck, whether it's either going to be a charge deck or it's going to be the dragon control variant. So that's you can pretty much make a lineup that gives it a hard time.
Yeah, there's even, I mean, you could even run Quest Warrior if you want to try to surprise your opponent. But I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't even see Quest Warrior's been
I
really taken down a notch in power level lately.
it really has. I saw somebody this week bring it in pro. And I'm guessing it was for that specific. I'm guessing it was for their specific matchup. It was. I think Neji brought it.
This
to
weekend
pro.
in GM's Fled and Super Fake both brought it and made top 4 or something. Like they're doing well, but they're
Yeah.
targeting basically much slower decks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw Super Fake's match earlier against Yarla today, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
basically just a warrior target.
Yeah.
You just basically keep infinite pressure on, and then
Yeah.
warrior probably doesn't
I
get there in
assume.
time.
Yeah, Neji's lineup looks like a pretty hard target on Warrior.
You
That would
mean
make sense.
Nepconnect's lineup, right?
No, I was just kind of
Or you mean
commenting
for
on
Neji?
the bringing of Quest Warrior, how Super Chicken mentioned that it could be used for a warrior target. But back to this, yeah, I mean you could go for it. I think that this lineup could target warrior pretty hard. You can tech. I mean a lot of these classes also work into the Demon Hunter. Although I didn't really have super accurate stats when I was doing my line when I was doing it, but I had a lineup that inadvertently kind of targeted Demon Hunter with similar classes and maybe similar deck. But hopefully we can get started pretty soon.
Yeah, the big Beast Hunter, I guess, would also sort of inadvertent. Actually,
Hmm?
that lineup in general would also sort of inadvertently target the Demon Hunter as well, because
Yeah.
I've seen big Beast Hunter used to target LDH a lot of the time as well,
Yes.
and then Libram Paladin and Poison Rogue and OTKDH also kind of serve that purpose.
Definitely.
What are you guys thinking is the target here? Or which side are you thinking is targeting what?
Yeah, I think for Nebcanuck, he's probably going after the Demon Hunter and the Warrior, or just
Okay.
slow decks in general. He does seem to have
Mhm.
a class lineup that can pivot towards that if he wants to. For Raptor, I'm not really. I think Raptor is in a bit of a tougher spot. Maybe he maybe he's hoping that Nebcanuck brings Face Hunter and then he can target that. But I think it would be pretty unlikely.
Yeah, but even if it's Face Hunter, the Warlock would struggle to be like most Warlocks just struggle to beat Face Hunter in general. So
I think Owllock gets there most of the time.
oh, you're right. Owllock is good into the aggro. Sorry, I got that, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Quest Hunter, maybe a beast or a Beast Hunter. It all depends on what Neb's prepped and what his team has for him. Hopefully, let's see.
Yeah, I think maybe he just tries to run tempo decks, maybe like
Yeah.
a Handlock and a Quest Warrior
Mhm.
and a Beast Druid and something like that, just to try to surprise Nebcanuck, because I think just
Yeah.
from a purely class standpoint, he's at a disadvantage. So I think
Mhm.
maybe he has to go for some sort of maybe not objectively the best lineup, but something that would kind of catch Nebcanuck off guard to give him an advantage.
Definitely. I think in this case you have to go against like if you look at your chart and you're like, I want to bring these decks and they just stink. They just kind of all are bad into what I'm looking at. Like that's when you have to start thinking. That's when you can get pretty creative, honestly, into these lineups and just say, okay, well, maybe maybe like a situation where I get to bring an Anaconda Druid, or I get to bring either, or I can just go aggressive with it with Demon Hunter. I mean, Demon Hunter, Quest Fell is just such a strong deck. You generally just want to bring it, regardless. And with Warrior, yeah, Quest Warrior for sure can work, and with Warlock, like at least you have the choice between Owl and Handlock, and I guess I don't think there's much reason to go for a control warlock. The deck just seems, even though the deck like traditionally has had maybe decent matchups into like paladin and some aggressive decks, I think it's I think it's like significantly not as good as owl against aggro.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the main reason for running kind of a quest warlock that isn't handlock now is just running the that fatigue card
oh,
from the
Curse of
mini set.
Agony. Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking like control tick lock when I was
Oh, okay,
talking
okay.
about that. I don't think that deck's super good. Like you could maybe bring it into with the paladin bring, but I mean you would have to have the rest of your lineup be also good into paladin to do that, and the rest of the lineup just typically won't be that good into paladin.
Yeah, I think like the fatigue lock is probably Warlock's best bet into combo decks
Probably, yeah.
because they're just kind of trying to like turbo their draw all the time, and you can sometimes just kill them when they're trying to get to the end of their deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we haven't heard back from Raptor just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, no real word. So
Oh
if it doesn't
no.
work out, it doesn't work out. I guess I reached out to captains too, just in case, since
Mhm.
it's troubling mainly because I've been communicating with them during the last match, right, just to give them updates and what. So
Yeah.
Raptor might not have been on the last hour.
Mhm.
We will see, and if not, then I'm not sure. What do you guys usually do? Has this ever happened? On what's the protocol when this happens on
I mean,
stream?
It's
guess we
never.
could
This
try to-
hasn't happened to me personally on
I mean, I
stream.
guess we could see if we could move up the next match.
Yeah, I
If
can start
this one doesn't
contacting
end
them
up
and
now.
ask. Good idea. And then
Yeah, that would be the wild match next. That would be Memnarch versus who's Memnarch playing this week? He's playing other
Nops.
Nops. He's playing Nops. Yeah.
All right, let me contact them and see.
Sure. See, I mean, and if not, I guess we can either stall for an hour or we can just go off the air. If something happens and this has, I obviously I would rather see this get rescheduled. If it's not going to happen here, that would be unfortunate to see a DQ in playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
But
always trying to avoid DQs, and then
for sure,
doubly so in playoffs. That is
yes,
pretty tragic.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I think that that's probably going to happen. Maybe slightly earlier, but like not necessarily super earlier. Yeah, I mean, I guess for now while we're waiting, we could look at the rest of maybe like looking at because we're in Legacy, we could like look at the rest of the matches. And yeah, sure, definitely. So I guess I'll in gold conference. Besides this 5-4 IDK versus Defiance, we have Pod People versus Chaos Theory sitting at tied at 4-4. Starlax sweeping, Chewy sweeping, so double sweeps. Quite a fire start for um for both teams. So it just comes down to a best of 3 there at this point. I don't think any match has been particularly won yet. MUOH Hearthstone sitting ahead of the cooler, 6-4 in red.
Yeah, so far, I mean, most of the series that I'm looking at are like, one are like kind of 1-1 right now. One one team has won a match, another team has won a match. I mean, that it seems like that's true for most of the teams, actually.
Yeah. I think the only series that isn't the case is Hot Zills versus HSA because there's only one match played. But we will have
True.
the second match of those played later tonight with Donde versus the Big Ted. With Coles getting a sweep for Hot Zills. If Donde gets a solid win here, that puts his team in a good position.
Oh, I didn't realize, is Heat Shock perma subbing for Nice Jewish Owl for the rest of the playoffs?
I don't know. This isn't like I maybe?
His name's
No,
in
he's
black on
he's
the-
in red. He's in red on the red conference. So it's just a 1 week sub. I know
Oh,
Heat
okay,
Shock subbed last week, and so they
for me it's in. Oh, okay, never mind.
yeah, if you're in silver conference, it'll show him as black because
Oh, okay, I didn't
that's
realize
not their
it did
that's not the
that.
conference they play in. Yeah, it's really weird. But it's probably a bit complicated to code that potentially. Yeah. You're right. Every
makes
match
it-
is like
who
one to,
makes this
every
go
match is 1 to
insane?
1. Yeah. There's a lot of sweeps too, I'll say that. I've seen like sweeps in every series, like 2 sweeps in Chaos Theory versus Pod People, a sweep in MUOH versus Cooler. I believe there was a sweep even in I think JR got a sweep too, so that's a sweep in the IDK series. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, I find sweeps in Conquest a little more surprising.
Yeah, I
just
do
in general,
too.
because it seems like you can just. I mean, after the first game, you get a general idea of what your opponent's game plan is. So maybe you can run your best deck
Yeah.
into it just to get a win at least. Whereas in
Mhm.
Hero, if you lose the first game and then lose and then try to run a counter deck and then lose that, it's just pretty doomed for you.
It's
a lot
so
of-
doomed. Yeah, there's usually you see more sweeps in Hero. But we really haven't seen that maybe too often, at least when I've played. And maybe it's just cuz I don't think I personally experienced a sweep either way. Oh no. But man, playoffs are pretty much heating up for every series. Wild is still 1 week out from playoffs. We got this week and next week, and then playoffs start. It's a grueling season for Wild to go 11 weeks.
Yeah, 11-week seasons. I've played in a couple of them, and
We
they
played Hero last
they
season.
really drag on sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Hero last season being 11 weeks. So long. I guess we haven't really gotten any word back from Raptor. We don't really have any other. We don't have any
I don't
other
think-
matches able to go early.
Right. So I'm thinking that we'll shut things down so people don't have to sit here for 30 minutes and then
Yeah.
restart around
Okay.
9 p.m. Eastern, right?
Or if something happens and
Yeah, if we can get it a little
and say if Nops comes back a little early and is able
Nops
to
is
go.
here, it's Memnarch that's not
Oh,
here.
Memnarch. Okay, yeah. If Memnarch, I don't know. Memnarch is usually not like.
Okay, everyone ping Memnarch in
No.
THL general.
No, please don't do that. Poor guy. Chicken, you know
Okay,
people will do that.
Don't actually do that, but
Yeah.
would be funny.
No, yeah. Yeah, I guess if we're gonna have the wild match next, that means that Chicken's not gonna be here for that, and it'll be myself and Hyper and calling wild. Matt calling the wild match. So
All right.
it'll be cool.
Let's go ahead and shut it down then. Be back in a
Cool.
little bit. Hopefully it won't be too long of a break.
We'll see y'all in a bit.
See ya.
Oh.